Ever notice how some Hyundais with 200,000 miles still run smooth and quiet, while others feel worn out before 90,000? Same engine, same design, very different results. It isn't luck or a special factory build, and it's not just following Hyundai's service schedule. The real difference comes from maintenance steps most owners ignore until warning lights appear. By then you're not preventing problems, you're paying for them. Sometimes $400, sometimes $4,000. So today, I'm going to show you 7 tips which will make your Hyundai car thank you every day. So let's start with tip number 1. This is one of the quiet ways a Hyundai engine starts losing its sharpness long before any warning lights show up. The MAF sensor sits in the intake, measuring every bit of air entering the engine so fuel delivery stays precise. When it's clean, the engine feels smooth and responsive. When it's dirty, the ECU starts guessing, and that guess costs you power and efficiency. On Hyundai GDI engines, I regularly see MAF contamination as early as 40,000 to 60,000 miles, especially on Elantras, Sonatas, and Tucsons used in traffic. The symptoms creep in slowly: slight hesitation off the line, idle that feels a little uneven, fuel economy quietly dropping 2 to 4 miles per gallon with no obvious fault codes. This is where owners get burned. A dealer scan turns a vague complaint into a $400 to $700 quote. Even though the sensor itself is often fine, it's just dirty. What you should do is simple. Unplug the MAF sensor between the airbox and throttle body. Never touch the sensing element. Spray it with MAF specific cleaner only. Let it air dry for 15 to 20 minutes and reinstall. Cost $10 to $15. Time 10 minutes. Do this every 20,000 to 30,000 miles. It's one of the easiest ways to keep a Hyundai engine feeling tight instead of slowly going dull. And once airflow data is wrong here, the next component in line starts suffering even faster. After the MIF, this is the next place Hyundai engines quietly lose their edge. The throttle body controls how much air the engine actually gets, and on modern Hyundai GDI engines, it gets dirty faster than most owners realize. Oil vapor from the PCV system and normal combustion residue build up right around the throttle plate. By 30,000 to 40,000 miles, there's already enough carbon to affect airflow. What that looks like in the real world is subtle at first. Rough idle at stoplights. A slight delay when you press the accelerator. That "why does it feel lazy today" sensation. By 60,000 miles, I've pulled throttle bodies that were coated in thick black residue, choking airflow every time the plate opens. Dealers usually sell this as a drivability service for $250 to $350, even though the fix takes under 20 minutes. What you should do is disconnect the battery first. This matters on Hyundais to avoid throttle relearn issues. Remove the intake hose, spray throttle body cleaner onto a cloth, and gently wipe both sides of the throttle plate and bore. Don't force it open aggressively. Let it dry fully before reassembly. Do this every 30,000 miles. It restores throttle response immediately and prevents idle issues that snowball into bigger problems. And once airflow is corrected here, the next weakness shows up deeper inside the intake path. This is where Hyundai GDI engines quietly lose performance long before anything actually breaks. Unlike older port-injected engines, GDI sprays fuel directly into the cylinder. That means fuel never washes over the intake valves, so oil vapor and blow-by gases bake onto them instead. By 60,000 to 80,000 miles, I've seen Hyundai intake valves coated in thick tar-like carbon. The symptoms don't scream engine problem. You'll feel sluggish acceleration, random hesitation, and fuel economy that's suddenly down 3 to 5 miles per gallon. Then some cars start throwing intermittent misfire codes. Others never set a light at all, they just feel tired. That's why this gets missed. Dealers usually wait until drivability complaints get bad, then recommend walnut blasting for $600 to $900. It works, but you shouldn't be letting it get that far. What you should do is run top-tier fuel only. Shell, Chevron, Costco, brands with real detergent packages. Add a GDI safe intake and fuel cleaner every 5,000 miles. Not snake oil. Real cleaners designed for direct injection. And here's the part most owners ignore. Once a week, drive the car hard. Brief pulls past 4,000 RPM generate enough heat to slow carbon formation before it hardens. Clean air and fuel help, but oil vapor is still feeding the problem, which brings us straight to the next weak link. This is one of the most ignored systems on Hyundai engines, and it causes a chain reaction when it's neglected. The PCV system is supposed to manage crankcase pressure and route oil vapors back into the intake in a controlled way. When it works, you never think about it. When it doesn't, oil consumption, carbon buildup, and rough running show up fast. On many Hyundai GDI engines, the PCV valve starts sticking or clogging between 70,000 and 100,000 miles. Short trips, extended oil intervals, and cheap oil accelerate it. Once the valve sticks, crankcase pressure rises. Oil gets pushed past seals into the intake and onto the intake valves. That directly feeds the carbon problem you just heard about. Spark plugs foul earlier, idle gets unstable, fuel trims drift. Here's the part dealerships rarely mention. A $20 to $40 PCV valve can prevent a $1,000 to $500+ oil consumption diagnosis or a $3,000 top-end teardown later. Hyundai doesn't list PCV replacement as routine maintenance, but experience says it should be. What you should do is replace the PCV valve proactively around 80,000 miles, sooner if you see oil usage climbing. Inspect the hoses at the same time. Brittle or collapsed hoses cause vacuum leaks that mimic bigger engine issues. If oil vapors aren't controlled, the next thing to suffer is ignition. So let's talk about spark plugs and coils next. This is where a lot of Hyundai engines quietly lose that new car feel, even though nothing is technically broken yet. Most Hyundai maintenance schedules push spark plug replacement out to 100,000 miles, especially on modern GDI engines. On paper, that looks efficient. In the real world, it's optimistic. Hyundai GDI engines run higher combustion pressures and leaner air-fuel mixtures in older port-injected designs. That's great for efficiency, but it's harder on spark plug. By 60,000 to 70,000 miles, plugs that are still within spec often show worn electrodes, widened gaps, and carbon fouling. The result isn't dramatic misfires at first, it's subtle. Slower throttle response, rougher cold starts, fuel economy that's down 2 to 3 miles per gallon with no warning lights. I've seen plenty of engines come in feeling tired, only to wake right back up after fresh plugs. And when plugs are neglected too long, unburned fuel starts stressing the catalytic converter. That's when a $120 set of plugs turns into $1,200 exhaust repair. What you should do is treat 60,000 miles as the real interval, especially on 2.0 liter and 2.4 liter GDI engines. Use OEM spec iridium plugs only. No copper, no budget substitutes. While you're there, inspect the ignition coils. Hyundai coils are generally reliable, but heat and oil vapor can weaken them over time. Catching a marginal coil early prevents random misfires later. Once ignition is healthy, the next thing that decides engine smoothness is oil quality and how often it's changed, and that matters more on Hyundais than most owners realize. This is one of the biggest reasons some Hyundai engines feel tight at 200,000 miles, while others start knocking before 120,000. Hyundai's official oil change intervals often stretch to 7,000, 500, or even 10,000 miles, especially on newer models. That looks good on a brochure. It's not what the engines actually want. Most modern Hyundai engines, especially GDI and turbocharged variants, run hotter, inject fuel directly into the cylinder, and deal with more fuel dilution than older designs. That breaks oil down faster. By 6,000 miles, oil that still looks okay on the dipstick has often lost its protective additives. That's when timing chains, cam journals, and bearings start wearing quietly. I've seen engines with spotless service records still develop timing noise or oil consumption simply because the oil stayed in too long, over and over again. Nothing dramatic, just cumulative wear. What you should do instead is simple. Change oil every 5,000 miles. No exceptions if you want longevity. Use full synthetic only, and stick to the factory viscosity. Always replace the filter. Saving $10 by reusing a filter just circulates old contaminants right back through the engine. Clean oil doesn't make noise when it's protecting your engine. You hear the consequences years later when it's not. Now the next system that quietly determines engine health is how well it stays cool, and that's where many Hyundai owners get caught out. Hyundai engines don't usually fail because they overheat once. They fail because they run slightly too hot for too long. Modern Hyundai powertrains are tightly packaged, run higher compression, and rely heavily on precise temperature control. When the cooling system starts slipping, even a little, the damage doesn't announce itself right away. Coolant degrades over time. After about 5 years or 60,000 miles, its corrosion inhibitors break down. At that point, it stops protecting aluminum components and starts attacking them. I've opened Hyundai engines where the coolant passages were partially restricted, not from neglect, but from lifetime coolant that stayed in far too long. What you should do is proactive, not reactive. Flush and replace coolant every 60,000 miles or 5 years, whichever comes first. Use the correct Hyundai spec coolant only. Mixing types or topping off with generic coolant creates sludge and scale, especially in GDI engines. Pay attention to thermostats and hoses too. A thermostat that sticks slightly open prevents proper warm-up. One that sticks closed causes overheating fast. Both shorten engine life. Replacing a thermostat costs little. Ignoring it can warp ahead. Cooling issues don't start loud, they start subtle. By the time you smell coolant or see a warning, the expensive damage is already in motion. And now the next thing that decides whether your engine stays smooth or starts stumbling is how cleanly it breathes. So if you want your Hyundai to feel tight, smooth, and responsive for the long haul, don't wait until warning lights force your hand. These are the habits that actually keep engines alive. Drop a comment with your Hyundai model and mileage. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown, and share this with someone who's about to learn the hard way. Stay ahead of the repairs, not behind the bills.